Today, I'm going to show you 5 different strategies you can use to increase your engagement on Instagram in 2020 legitimately. So over the past few years, there's been a bunch of different tactics and tricks, and I guess you could call them strategies to increase your engagement, to get more people on your profile, to get more people supporting your business, to get more people following your page. The most popular of these strategies was power likes and engagement groups, where essentially you joined a big group of hundreds, if not thousands of people who would all go ahead and like your content as soon as you posted, with the idea of that pushing it onto the explore page because of this big boost in engagement. Now, that did work in the past, back in 2017, 2018. Very effective methods. However, in 2020, this is most certainly limiting your account, which is why today I'm going to go over 5 legitimate tactics you can use to increase your engagement in 2020 on Instagram, and do it ethically, which will allow you to continue to do this. Like, these strategies are things that will always work. They're not a flash in the pan technique that's really effective now and then in 5 weeks later it's gone and Instagram have covered it up because it's some sort of tricky wee hack. These are legitimate things that will pretty much work on all social medias, but Instagram specific today. So without further ado, I'll stop rambling. Let's dive into the video. So the first thing to try to increase your engagement is don't put a link in your bio. At least just test this out with a new account. And basically there are 2 reasons behind this. Firstly, it comes across as kind of spammy, and Instagram have got a lot of anti-spam things in place, which is potentially limiting the reach of your account because you've got a link in your bio when you first start. Once you've been around for a while, once your account is established, growing, totally have a link to whatever it is that you're promoting in your bio. If you're running ads, have a link in your bio. But if you're just starting out a brand new meme page or something along those lines, just take the link out of your bio and see how it performs over the next 7 to 14 days without one. Another reason behind this is session time. If you link someone from your Instagram to go to your website, to go to your YouTube channel, to go to your Facebook group, to go to your opt-in page, that is taking people off Instagram, which is therefore decreasing the amount of time people spend on the platform. And if you're doing anything that is decreasing the amount of time someone spends on a platform, that platform will not be happy, because it is in their best interest to keep users on the platform for as long as possible. So if you don't have a link in your bio, people are more likely to stick around on Instagram for longer, stick around on your page for longer, and these 2 things here are very profitable for Instagram, so it is in their best interest to promote your account better in the algorithm. The second thing you can do to increase your engagement goes along with what I was just talking about, and that is increase your session time. So increase the amount of time people spend on your profile and increase the amount of time people spend watching your content. Could be in the newsfeed, could be on your profile. Now, the absolute best way to do this is to put out longer form content, which is Instagram TV, videos, long captions in your posts, and sliders or carousels or whatever you want to call them, where you've got like 5 or 6 or 7 different images. Now, all of these things here keep people on the platform for longer. If someone watches your Instagram TV video for 10 minutes, they're staying on the platform for an additional 10 minutes, as opposed to if you just posted a nice selfie and they spent 3 or 4 seconds on it and then scrolled down to the next image. And once again, when you post this content, it keeps people on the platform longer, and that's basically what Instagram are trying to do. So as a creator, if you are keeping people on the platform, Instagram will naturally push your account to more people, which will increase your engagement, increase your reach, increase your growth, and increase your income. All right, so strategy number 3 is to use more of Instagram's features. And this is most prominent on stories, but is also, I guess, relevant on posts as well. And essentially what I mean by this is use story polls. Ask the question feature where people can submit you questions. Ask questions yourself where you post a question and it's got multiple answers that people can select from. Use Instagram TV. Use these new features that Instagram roll out. If Instagram create a copy of TikTok, which people have rumored they will be, then go ahead and use that, because Instagram want people using these features so they become mainstream on the platform. They've put them out there for a reason. And so when you use all of these, it not only is beneficial to Instagram, but when you post a story poll and people interact with that, it shows Instagram these people actually care about your content more than just scrolling through a story. They're actually taking the time to vote or to slide across how much they like it or to answer a question, which means Instagram's more likely to serve these people your content next time you post. So use these features from Instagram. Not only do they want you using them, but it also gives Instagram an idea of who is actually more interested in your content, and then they can serve that to them more often and higher up the newsfeed. so they're more likely to see it and engage with it. Technique number 4 is analyze the data. And this is essentially pretty simple and goes across all social media platforms, but look at your content, see what's performing well, and then make more of that. For example, here on YouTube, I look at my YouTube videos and see what YouTube videos get the highest watch time, get the most amount of views, get the most amount of comments, and then based off that, I try and create content similar to those, because clearly that's what my audience wants, and that is how I've been increasing my views, subscribers, etc. Instagram is no different. If you look at your content that does the absolute best, and then you look at what aspects of that can you replicate in future posts. For example, maybe pictures that have you in it do considerably better than pictures that don't have you in it. So put more pictures of yourself on Instagram. On the contrast, maybe if you do a lot of video content and you're giving away social media / digital marketing tips, maybe you find that whenever you talk about Facebook ads, they just get insane amounts of engagement. Talk more about Facebook ads. Simple as that. Look at what content does really, really well and then create more of that. And going a step further, you don't have to just look at the content. You can also look at the hashtags, look at the captions, look at the thumbnails. For example, if you notice that writing longer captions gets you more engagement, try and make your captions longer. If you notice that short captions do better, go with that. It usually varies from niche to niche and page to page, so I can't give you a blanket statement, but just look at your content and just find what's performing best on your page and then do more of that. And lastly, number 5 is stop using engagement groups. I feel like this goes without saying, and in 2020 you don't have to be using these spammy tactics to try and get yourself out there, but engagement groups will just hurt your account in the long run. Now, there are so many reasons for this. Partially it's completely against the Instagram terms of service, and they can 100% and are fully in the right to go ahead and delete your account for using these sort of services. And at the end of the day, they don't really actually help you that much. It confuses the Instagram algorithm when you've got a bunch of accounts just liking the video without watching it, and you've got a bunch of people liking the photo without actually viewing it. And there's so many reasons that this messes with the algorithm in a negative way. They don't know who to serve your content up to. And as well as this, what I've found is that when you take an account off the engagement groups, the engagement is significantly lower. For example, if you've got 1,000 followers, you reach 1,000 people a post and you get 100 likes, and then you chuck on some engagement groups and get up to a couple thousand followers and you're reaching more people. Then when you take the engagement group off, then you're actually below where you originally were. That's just what I've found from testing. Could be different for you, but at the end of the day, I've found when you take them off, it decreases your engagement massively, and you're reaching less real people and more bots, which is never effective. It's almost like your Instagram account becomes reliant on these, kind of like caffeine, for example. If you never drink coffee, and then once a month when you've got a lot of work to get done, you drink a coffee, you're going to be like at a 10 out of energy because you're not used to it, you have it, and you're just going to be buzzing, you're going to get so much done. However, if you then have a coffee every single day, and then you need to get something done, the coffee is like your normal state. It might be a 4, it might be a 5. Then you're going to have like 2 or 3 coffees to get a big boost and go back up to a 10. And then that becomes normal, and eventually like you're having all this coffee and it's not bringing you any extra benefit because you've built up a tolerance to it. Engagement groups are no different. When you start using fake engagement, such as these, your account builds up a tolerance to it, and then suddenly like you use engagement groups just to get normal engagement, whereas you could have just not used them from the start and have normal, if not better, engagement. So don't waste your time with engagement groups. Focus on doing real things that build a real audience of real engaged followers, and then they will engage with your content without you having to beg random strangers to do so. Think about it. If you build a loyal audience of people who love your content, love what you're about, love who you are, when you post, they're going to want to comment, they're going to want to like, they're going to want to share it to their audience. And they will do that without you having to get a bunch of randoms doing it. That is a way better strategy to build real engaged people who love your content. And you do that by basically following everything I talk about on this channel, putting out valuable content, being authentic, using the growth strategies I've done, focusing on the impact rather than the number of followers that you've got, and all these different things that I've talked about on this channel. So go ahead, check out the rest of those videos. But as a quick summary, let's dive through the 5 engagement hacks for Instagram in 2020. So firstly, test taking the link out of your bio, because if it takes people off the platform and comes across as spam, it could potentially hurt your account's reach. This is just for new accounts. If you've got a bit more of an established one, I haven't noticed any dip from having a link in bio or not. Number 2 is increase your session time. And this is essentially meaning use videos and using more long form content such as Instagram TV, such as carousels, such as writing more engaging captions, etc. The increased session time leaves you Instagram being able to make more money, and then it is in their best interest to show you to more people as you are more profitable of an account. Number 3 is use new features when they ring them out, and use more features in general, such as story polls, such as questions, such as Instagram TV, such as when Instagram copy TikTok, which they probably will. Number 4 is analyze the data, or data if you're American, and basically go ahead and look at what content and what techniques and what things you're doing are working really well, and then do more of that, whether it be long captions, short captions, lots of hashtags, a small amount of hashtags, video content, images of you, images without you, whatever. Look at what's performing best and then do more of that. It varies for every account. I can't give you a blanket statement. And number 5 seems obvious, but don't use engagement groups. Firstly, it's illegal and against the terms of service. Secondly, it actually doesn't really help you that much in the algorithm now, especially if you're not posting viral content. It might still work for viral content on theme pages, but when it comes to building a personal brand, it just confuses the algorithm. And on top of that, you build up a tolerance to it, and eventually it's just going to ruin your account for the long term. So don't use engagement groups. Those are 5 things you can do to boost your engagement in 2020. If you want to learn more about making money online, building an audience on Instagram, and other social media tips, tricks, and challenges, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I post 2 videos every single week, and that might be going up to 3 videos. We'll just see if there's a demand for it. I'll put it out there. So that's it from me. Follow me on Instagram at Josh Ryan, and I will see you all in another video sometime soon. Here's a few suggestions. Go have a watch and have an awesome day. Cheers.